guys, I have been a crazy lady the past 10 days since moving back to Brooklyn. My son's starting school again, Fashion Week happening in New York City. I have not been in the kitchen as much as I'd like to be, and I'm super happy that all of that mayhem is behind me, and I'm just gonna play and riff in the kitchen for you guys today. I'm gonna make Delicata squash because it's one of my absolute favorite fall vegetables, fall squashes. They pop up probably early in the season in fall, earlier than most squash. And they don't last as long. Usually you find acorn squash and butternut squash all the way through winter, but these are definitely more of an early fall finding. So get them while you can. What I love about them is that they are super sweet and mild in flavor, and their skin is not very tough, which means that you don't have to peel them and you could just cut them into rings. I'm gonna roast them in the simplest technique, a high heat. I'm not gonna overcrowd the pan, so they get a nice caramelization on them. And then I'm gonna make an Agrodolce sauce, which is, I think I already said this, but it's from Cook Beautiful. Agrodolce basically means sweet and kind of tart and tangy at once. I'm gonna also add another layer of spice in there. So it's gonna be honey and some lime juice, and I'm gonna cook this down, and it's gonna become a syrup that I'm gonna kind of drizzle over. It's such a simple recipe, but I really like for me, cooking is a creative outlet, and I really love to play, and I wanna encourage you guys to play. So rather than following the recipe verbatim, I don't really have a roadmap. I'm gonna just see what I have in my pantry, see what I have in my kitchen, and I'm just gonna play around with flavors. Because that's the fun of cooking, right? Taking risks, learning how to trust your palate, learning what you like and what you don't like, learning what flavors work together and what flavors don't work together, but in that not working together, in that contrast that they create, it actually makes it more interesting. So you're never gonna know that if you just follow a recipe. You need to trust your instincts, and you need to just play around. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's hope today it does, since I'm filming this for you. Okay, well, follow along, guys. Let's see what I come up with, and happy fall. Somebody recently asked me how to get through the Delicata squash with ease, and that they get a little nervous. But I would say the answer to that is to really make sure that you get your knives sharpened regularly. When you sharpen your knife, it should not fight against you. It should actually really help you. Also, this is called the belly of the knife, and you should always go in a rocking motion, kind of from forward to the belly of the knife. So start at the beginning, the tip, not the tip, but kind of a third down. Put pressure, and then move forward in a forward sweeping motion to the belly of the knife. That should really help you get through it. But again, there are so many places to get your knives sharpened. You can go to Sur La Table, you can go to Whisk in New York City. Here in Cobble Hill, there's actually even a truck that drives around and kind of sharpens your knives. But that will really kind of be of the utmost assistance when you're cooking. So as mentioned before, I love that these do not need to be peeled. The skin is quite thin, and it's edible. And I also love the kind of stripy quality that the Delicata squash has. So I'm cutting these into kind of a little less than an inch, maybe 3/4 inch discs. I have 2 Delicata squash here. And I will show you next how to rid of the seeds with ease. You drizzle with olive oil. Some honey, which will help sweeten and also help with the caramelization. this isn't in the recipe in Cook Beautiful, but I'm also gonna put some shallots because we really love shallots in our family. And you know, guys, I'm not gonna put any salt right now. Sometimes when you add salt, they're not gonna get as caramelized because the salt pulls out water in any vegetable or any meat, any protein. Fresno chili. Start with champagne vinegar. You could use white wine vinegar as well. About 1/3 cup. Going to juice 1 lime, but before I juice it, I'm gonna zest it. I just started my Agrodolce. My squash is in the oven. I just added some raisins, which was kind of an unexpected plan, into the acidic mixture that's simmering on the stove right now. So the golden raisins, what my hope is that they're going to plump up and absorb all of that kind of acid and also some of that spice. So when you bite into it, you get a little bit of a burst. You don't want it to be too sweet, right? So you get a little bit of a burst of that like tart, sour acid and a little bit of spice. And maybe, I'm not sure yet, but maybe to kind of counterbalance all those sweet notes, I'm also gonna put maybe a briny olive in, since we all know I love an olive. And adding the textural element is going to be the kasha that I have and some Marcona almonds. I'm gonna toast those up, maybe toss it with the olive, with some parsley and drizzle it over as a nice kind of vibrant textural punch. I have a little less than 1/4 cup of these almonds. And then, again, about a little less than 1/4 cup, basically 1/8 of a cup of the kasha. 15 minutes. I'm gonna give them all a little flip. Okay, so I've gone ahead and separated the kasha and the almonds. Truth be told, I definitely made a mistake. These are different sizes. They're gonna cook at a different rate. I probably should have put the almonds in first, let them get a little brown, and then put in the kasha. So we all make mistakes, and hopefully we all learn from them. So here are some green Sicilian olives. This is not in the recipe in Cook Beautiful. I'm just kind of playing here. Italian parsley. The recipe in Cook Beautiful calls for sage, and while I really love sage paired with squash, again, I just want to try something new because I make it with sage all the time. I'm going to begin to put these onto the plate. Here is my Agrodolce sauce. I put it with my raisins. Kasha, my almonds, and then that bit of green vibrancy from our herbs and our olives. Here you have it. I just made this Delicata squash. I am gonna give it a bite. I am super pleased with how it came together. I'm gonna get everything on one little bite. Some shallot, some olive, some raisin. Oh my goodness. That is so good. So many flavors happening. You guys should definitely try this. Like, for real.